Ms. Nidhi, for your sharing. Now we shall have the second speaker for today, Mr. Alvin from Stratus Technologies. Over to you now, Mr. Alvin.
Good afternoon. This is Alvin Wong from Stratus. I am the technical consultant for Stratus, and I'm in charge of the technical aspects of Stratus solution across ASEAN region. I'm happy to be invited to be one of the speakers for AVEVA solution, together with ISDM for today's webinar. For a start, let's give a short introduction to Stratus. Who are we? Well, we build the most reliable and most resilient computing platform for our customer. For the past 40 years, our customer base is around 12,000 and is increasing on today's context. We are big at the edge. We treat about 190 or close to 200 billions of gallons of water on an annual basis. We transport 1.5 billion passengers by air annually, and we serve 45 million passengers by rail on a daily basis on a worldwide calculation. Our portfolios includes hardware and software solution. Our hardware platform includes Stratus ftServer and Stratus ZTC Edge. Our software solution includes Stratus Everrun. Together with our hardware and software platform, we offer our customer absolute uptime for your solution as well as your services to be up 24/7 and 365 days a year without any disruption. Our key customers span across various industries such as FSI, construction, chemicals, manufacturing, as well as pharmaceutical, just to name a few. Well, today I am going to share why Stratus is relevant to MES and the edge computing and how we are gaining traction on helping our customer, especially in the IT, OT industry, solving their challenges that has been pegging them for years. Industrial 4.0 and some may say 5.0 is already around the corner. With Industrial 4.0 and 5.0 on the way, OT industry are striving to optimize their operation, improving efficiency and yet save costs at the same time. This is all part and parcel of digital transformation. It is happening in today's context, especially with the COVID-19 changing the whole world on not just how we do business, but also on the basic human interaction level. With that, we are going to rely heavily on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the end goal of industrialization 4.0 is to achieve full autonomous. That is, in Stratus context, the highest level of IT, OT, Industrial 4.0 maturity. In it, almost 100% of MES will be fully automated without any human intervention, be it in implementation, or deployment, operation, or even maintenance. With that come couple of challenges. IT knowledge will be imperative in an OT environment. How? Service uptime, non-stop operation, compliance, data loss, and ease of maintenance will pose as a challenge, just to name a few. Stratus can help to mitigate or resolve these challenges to a minimum impact. How so? With Stratus solution, it enables rapid deployment of always-on infrastructure from enterprise server to cloud without changes to your application. It is possible by harnessing our technology that is always protected in a hardened and secure environment or platform with a seamless failover, full stack of protection, and our simplicity in setting up in minutes that is, and also to easy to manage, and with a single button restore capability. And it is fully autonomous that comes with self-healing, automated administration, and remotely managed capability. with our technology, we hope to achieve the highest level of industrialization, fully autonomous environment. Our vision is to provide an IoT at the edge environment together with the cloud as a fully industrialized information management, optimization, artificial intelligence, and to give a visualization with planning and scheduling that achieve total use case in an edge environment. With that, our platform is focusing on our technology that is simple to use, is always protected and fully automated. Well, first of all, let's have a look at how we are managing on our uptime availability. In Stratus, one of our advantage, because it's always protected, we are giving up to 59% on our uptime and service availability based on an unplanned schedule. So if we were to calculate this cost based on an annual basis on a monetary term, a 59 will equate to unplanned downtime of about 5 minutes a year. Compared to 99%, which is 29, it will be equivalent to 87 hours, 3 nights, about 8 hours, and 99.95 about 4 hours of downtime. And if we translate all this into cost, giving an example of about 200,000 USD a year for this downtime loss, Stratus is able to provide an uptime availability of up to 5 minutes, which equate to the lowest level of monetary term for unplanned downtime. Let's take a look at some of the clustering or some of the availability solution in today's market. From the left, we have a no solution. There is no redundancy at all on a standard server where the application and services is installed. With that, it will give about 2 to 3 days of downtime. And next come the IT solution of clustering as well as virtualization HA that will give probably up to 3 or 4 nights, but that still equate to 1 full day of downtime. And finally, based on our Stratus solution on the hardware platform, our ftServer and our ZTC server, we are able to provide up to 5 nights and 9 availability uptime, and that is to ensure that we give you the minimum impact to your service level for your application as well as your services. Taking into note of some of the architecture, if you were to compare our solution against other solution with a 3-9 or even a 4-9 solution, their solution typically require 2 hardware such as server, external storage, as well as application licenses for them, which is always in a dual quantity and application. With that, they need to do an investment of high cost of all the various components as well as the service licenses cost. Whereas compared to our Stratus solution, all you need to do is just to buy a single hardware as well as single instances of licenses for your application. That is because the way of how we architect our platform, we are able to provide a single license for your services. So with that, I'm going to give you an introduction of what is our ftServer that is on our hardware platform. Our ftServer is a purpose-built all-in-one resiliency platform. So out of the box is able to support your application without any modification on coding or even source code. Because we are supporting it or we are installing it with the common operating system that are out in the market, such as Microsoft Windows, Red Hat, Linux, as well as VMware. Talking about VMware, it is able to give you a virtualization environment where you can use a single ftServer and install a lot of virtual machine. Therefore, you are able to install your application on different virtual server. It can be considered as a server consolidation also at the same time. All out of the box, giving you a redundancy of up to 5 nines. All our ftServer component be it on the CPU level, memory level, or even in the IOS level, they are all redundant. And because on our architecture, you just need to buy a single OS licenses and an application licenses, and all this is able to give you zero failover downtime, zero failover time, as well as zero data loss. Finally, it is backed by our Stratus 24/7, 365-day services infrastructure support. This is the front chassis of our ftServer, and this is the back. If we take away the front cover, this is what we will see based on our FT view. It comes with 8 hard disks per enclosure that will be in a mirror basis, set so as to protect your data from data loss. And this is the back view. So from the back view, we can see that there is a lot of room for for adding on the IO ports such as 1G network, 10G network, or even fiber channel card. On the back view again, all our Stratus ftServer is made possible in our redundancy by the backplane that is shown on number 2. Okay, so number 2 is able to connect both servers together, and together with our proprietary and patented solution, our log stepping technology, we are able to synchronize all the data, all the CPU transaction, as well as the memory transient data in real time, therefore providing utmost redundancy. In an event, if you think that the hard disk that is inside the ftServer is not sufficient for your usable capacity, we do have an external storage which we call the ftScalable that can be connected via either a direct attached iSCSI network or fiber channel card to increase the capacity so as to service your ftServer to have a much bigger usable capacity. This is especially useful if you are intending to virtualize your whole industrial or your edge location with the virtual server, and you need a lot of usable capacity. Our service level uptime is made possible, as I mentioned, with our Stratus solution, our log stepping solution. Let me just give a rough introduction of how we can achieve it. In the center, you will see on our ftServer, it is embedded with our ASIC chipset that is able to provide fault detection and isolation on the CPU as well as a memory level to ensure that all the instructions from the CPU as well as the memory are processed simultaneously and in real time. And on the left side, if you can see on the PCI, which includes the IO or such IO and ports such as networking port or fiber channel port, it is all made possible by NIC teaming or multipath. And finally, our hard disk is mirrored using our patented technology, which we call it the rapid disk resynchronization, therefore providing you with utmost redundancy without any data loss. So based on this architecture, what you see is you just need to have a single operating system that is you are able to install your application and on this operating system. But do remember that if you are installing it on a operating system, or the licenses that you require for your application and database is again a single instance, therefore saving you money as compared to the 3.9 or even 4.9 architecture that is possible out there in the market. Some example or illustration of our ASIC chipset. If one of the component fail, the system will isolate the fault and notify Stratus that the CPU has failed. What happens is a system will automatically order correct parts, and that is for the next day delivery. So all this is made possible using our Stratus after sales support, which we call it the ASN, Active Service Network. Using this through a connectivity of either internet or either modem, we are able to help you to monitor the Stratus server, and we are clever. We will be able to know exactly which component failed, and we can dispatch the parts immediately. And not forgetting that in our services on the customer replacement unit, there's only 3 parts that you need to do the replacement as an operator in the edge environment. First is the hard disk, which the operator definitely know how to do a hot swap. Next, second one is the power supply, which again it is very simple to do a hot swap. Finally, if any of the component that is within the enclosure, if you see the 210 shown here, is faulty, we don't expect the operator to change the component inside there. What we do instead is to give the whole enclosure and to the operator who is at the edge environment, and they can do the swapping of the components, such as this case the enclosure, so in an easy manner, and everything will be synchronized, and the recovery will be a plug and play, will be automatic. So while this servicing is happening, right, all the way from detection of the faulty component to the dispatch and to the replacement at the customer side, remember, your workload still continue to run without any interruption. For a start, our ftServer comes with 3 different models: the 2900, 4900 and 6900. Okay, starting from the entry level to the mid-range and finally to the high-end system. What set all these 3 models, they have the same dimension, same weight, as well as the same appearance. So what set this aside is the configuration inside. For an entry level, it comes with 10 physical core. Mid-range, it comes with a 20 physical core, and finally, our high-end comes with 32 physical core CPU. So let's say if I convert it into a virtualization context, it's able to give you up to 20 vCPU for the entry level, 40 vCPU for the mid-range level, and 64 vCPU for the high-end system. And another difference is the maximum memory configurable in each model. For the entry level, is up to a maximum of 128. For mid-range, is up to a maximum of 512. And for the high-end system, is up to a maximum of 640. All of them will have the same set of I/O ports such as networking. But do remember, the entry level only comes with 1G network port. And for mid-range and high-end, it is possible to install up to 10G network port. We have 3 tiers of after-sales service. Starting from the tier 1, the lowest tier, which called extended platform support, okay, to the mid-range system assurance, and finally to the total assurance. So what is the difference? All as a base, it comes with a 24/7 proactive support, email channel via web, email as well as phone, and it comes with a next day part delivery. And it is made possible for our monitoring to be on a secure service portal. And on the system assurance, we will help you to do a root cause analysis together with our vendor collaboration, as well as an optional on-site support. And finally, for the total assurance, it comes with a software root cause analysis and uptime guarantee. This uptime guarantee is in an event that we are unable to fulfill our SLA in terms of the number of nines, we will provide you with some monetary compensation according to our T&C, terms and conditions. In conclusion, okay, finally, Stratus, we deliver stability, we provide risk mitigation, we lower the total cost of ownership for your application in a redundant manner, and we give you a compliance without any data loss. So these are the advantages that we can bring across to your solution, especially in MES in the edge computing environment. After this, let's take a look on how we can position our solution together with AVEVA solution. Starting from level 0, if you can see from here, such as a process, level 1 for basic control, level 2 for area supervisory control, and level 3 on a site operation manner, it will come with a different use case on such as sensor, drive, actuator, onto batch, discrete, drive and processors, finally to a SCADA, as well as to a multi-line SCADA. If based on de-sizing and processing, we are able to position starting from level 0, maybe our hardware platform such as ZTC Edge Compute, to a level 3 if it's based on the site operation, our ftServer, and these are all in the manufacturing zone. Finally, if we are focusing on the enterprise security zone, we typically will propose ftServer that is based on a level 4 and level 5, that is on a site business planning, as well as an enterprise network for file server and ERP solution. And you can see, typically level 0 to level 3 is located either in the data center or the production line, and level 4 and 5 is in the data center. Just to give a summary on how we can support on your portfolio. Starting from the left, we have MQTT, OPC-UA, Clear SCADA, Indusoft, which is now known as InTouch Edge, InTouch Solution, Historian, Cytex, as well as Historian. So based on your sizing, we are able to achieve the same outcome, that is to provide redundancy of fault tolerance of up to 95, both either in a ZTC Edge compute environment platform or a ftServer. And again, how do we fit ourselves in the portfolio? You can see we can actually position a ZTC Edge again on, as the name implies, in an edge environment that can provide a redundancy for our ZTC Edge, right? You can have all the machine equipment, a line production and asset application running on our ZTC Edge. We also give you flexibility of deploying it either in a single node and thereafter you can add on a secondary node to provide redundancy. And based on a planned multi-site, depending again on your sizing, on a SCADA or an InTouch HMI or a Historian solution, we can position either an Everrun software solution running on a third-party server or our ftServer. And finally, on the cloud enterprise area, providing unified operation center, you can install it in our ftServer with system platform. And of course, with your AVEVA Connect that is made possible, that on our ZTC Edge, we are able to provide a whole total solution. We have, in fact, a sizing tool that is specially developed for AVEVA with all the various scenarios, various components, various applications, and based on different sizing, we are able to give a recommended specification on whether to position it in a ZTC or in an ftServer. And this is all made possible with our hardware as well as our software platform. This is just an example on a deployment on Historian for your solution, and based on scalability, we are able to provide it in a scalable solution. We can have an opportunity of deploying a lot of ZTC across a lot of smaller sites, and in a typical site, if you decided that you want to consolidate all of them together, you can opt for a ftServer. In it helps to optimize your process, prevent data loss, and to provide compliance as well. Finally, I have come to the end of my presentation. I hope today's session is useful for you in understanding our solution together with AVEVA solution. Right? As shown here is our barcode that you can scan to download our digital brochure pack. Or you can visit our website shown here in a short URL.
Thank you very much, Alvin, for your presentation. We'll now move on to our Q&A session. If you have any questions, please enter your questions in the chat box now.